You're now listening to the Basic and Boujie podcast.
When I was thinking about that, like preparing for today and just being in such a male-dominated organization and other staff leaders I've had after that, until this week have all been men. And there's this ego thing that stands in the way a lot of you learning, I think. And so once we started meeting other people in the organization and succeeding and being promoted and sometimes being promoted to different teams, you saw, did other people have these great qualities too? They were all men that we were working with, and did they have those qualities, or a lot of times I found that the opposite of those qualities was an ego, which maybe was wondering if you as a woman should be there.
Okay.
And even if they were accepting of women, it was very hard to try to present ideas or
kind of like just do what you were hired for and just stay right there.
Or if somebody was wrong, they couldn't say it. Or if they were having a tough day, they couldn't say it.
Right.
Or I need help brainstorming this thought. Let's get together around this. No, they had to know what was happening all the time.
Okay.
And so I think that's where I found the most male-dominated leadership positions where you as a woman on my team probably won't necessarily help me get the answer I'm looking for.
Right.
And thankfully we didn't see a lot of those leaders, but we saw enough good ones to then see the tough, bad ones.
And to know that they're
quickly.
not all like that.
Right.
You just suck, but everybody's not like that.
but women leaders have a different type of ego thing.
Oh,
happening.
for sure.
It's really refreshing. Sure. It's not. It's a different word. It's not ego. It's
something just different.
Yeah.
And I feel like even if there must be a game going on at the school.
Yeah, I'm like, what was that cheering?
That was not a track.
I didn't touch any buttons.
Maybe it's a soccer game.
It might be. I feel like if I had male manager, I don't know if I could be as open or vulnerable with a male manager versus a female manager. I've had female managers before I became a nurse, so I was just listen, this and this, where we had venting sessions, and I don't know if I would be comfortable, or if I was comfortable, I wouldn't want them to see it as a weakness.
Yeah,
so
you're so emotional. Women are so emotional.
I'm
you can't
I
get your
am
job
extremely
done.
emotional. I will just cry for no reason. I can cry on cue. So I would be no, I can't. They can't see my tears because then they're gonna think I'm weak.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing that annoys me when that's said by a man is that anger is an emotion. Mm-hmm. So just because you only get angry and you don't get, whatever, maybe you don't get sad, or maybe whatever it is, your anger for whatever reason you don't feel is an emotion.
Right.
It's just that's just my opinion. I'm just being direct. I'm just it's all these other things, but it's not an emotion.
Very blunt or forward or whatever it is.
But let a woman show anger, and all of a sudden now anger is this magical emotion.
Don't let her be a woman of color.
But what's wrong with her?
Right. And it becomes
I'm a human.
Is it that time of the month? It can be.
Do you want it to be?
Say to me, God.
Do you really want to ask me that?
God.
You want to know? Do you want to know?
No, thankfully that has never been said.
That's the thing that I envision, God, immature guys
that's
saying
the
stupid
office
shit, right? Little stupid shit like that.
So now what? I've been working primarily for men for 15 years now, and I will say that it's not necessarily like The Office. I would never get asked a question like that, because that's clearly enough for me to go to
right.
call up the Times and be like, did you hear what they said? They said it. There's just a lot of fear.
Okay.
A lot of fear. What can I say to them? What can I not say? What's gonna offend them? And it's usually
Them as women, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And it's So it can.
We're regular people.
It's
you can joke with us, like,
Yeah.
just don't take it too far.
It can be a thing of like, if they're afraid to say it to you, then they're not going to say anything. But then that also keeps you from being able to grow or understand why.
Because we can't be ourselves.
Right. Why you're not being put in certain positions because they're worried, oh, you know, you're not going to be able to interact with such and such person because they're going to be worried all the time about what they can say to you because they're not going to feel comfortable around women. Like, I think the things that, the ways that I felt like shortchanged a little bit are like, I'll have other guys that I work with be like, oh yeah, me and such volunteer, we went and we got beers and we talked about this and we talked about that. And I was like, I've never been asked to go and get a drink with not one time. And I know why, because they're all married men. Like,
and it's like, well, this is not a date. No,
right.
We're just co-workers, but because it's a male and a female co-worker versus two guys and two girls.
But that then also prevents me from being able to build a kind of relationship,
right, especially in your type
that
of
I
work.
need to have with you.
You need to be on those after work,
right,
whatever venting sessions, because that's your time to bond.
Right, and I think then I've had other women who've come in and they have, and it's like, oh, so it's the double-edged sword. It's the, not only am I a woman, but I'm a black woman, and so even though everybody likes me just fine, that's not what I'm concerned about. There's that, I don't want to get too comfortable. Don't want to be put myself in a situation where it's like, nothing is going to happen with you.
Cute. No. But no, I see what you're saying, Dave. But like, there's a certain type of maybe woman that they would invite out versus someone else.
Right.
Like, oh, she's fun, she'll be fine. Well, I'm fun too.
Right.
We'll just keep it professional.
But now, for the first time, and I think for the first time in the history of organization I'm working at now, my leadership team is all female. Not professionally, but in the one that I manage.
It's very exciting.
So I don't want to use the terms because I didn't know what it was. But that's a big deal. And I'm talking about an organization that's been around for like
113 years.
Yes.
It's a huge deal.
Having it be like the top tier leadership of the largest portion of where I work is all women is like,
that's
wow.
Amazing.
And now my entire professional team is 50% women, 50% minority.
Very
That's
nice.
never happened before either.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's
I'm
happened
making
all in the last
history
year.
over there.
So
I like it.
it's a heck of a time. Things are changing, but that's also the thing with the organization that I work for. Things won't change forever, and then they'll change immediately, and everything will be completely different.
Happening.
But
And I'm like, I feel like piggybacking off what you were saying. When I first started working in the hospital, probably over 10 years ago, working with male nurses, we had this playful banter working overnight. We said some things. You could say whatever, and there was nobody took it any kind of way. Most of these people are married. It was like, oh yeah, my work husband, my work wife. Nobody ever crossed the line. We said inappropriate jokes. Nobody went to HR. But I could see the shift over the last couple years of like where somebody would have said something inappropriate to me, and I would have said, go fuck yourself. Whatever. They don't even want to play with me like that anymore. Like, and it's not just me, it's everybody. Like, the boys are kind of like in a corner. You got the male nurses that are just like, don't look, don't make eye contact, because they're terrified. I'm like, but I'm the same girl you used to work with 6 years ago when we used to talk shit. I'm still her, but they're afraid. I'm like, you shouldn't have to be afraid.
Yeah, and
But-
I think when we all worked together, I mean, there were plenty of times where if there was an HR representative there,
And close your ears.
they would have been like, "Oh, I don't know if I gotta leave." They would have left, and no one caught offense at any of that
Right.
stuff, right? It wasn't.
That's the word. Nobody was offended.
Nobody was offended, but I don't think we could do.
But
or say,
everyone
my
was
God, no.
respectful
Everyone
and
was
strong.
respectful.
A good
So,
relationship,
yeah.
Right.
and respect came first.
Yep.
So that's why I think all the other things, the friendships beyond work could happen
Right.
and not impact.
yeah, and
Work.
I also think we were all very comfortable if something did offend us.
Yeah.
Be very comfortable having that conversation with each other, and it wasn't the immediate defensiveness.
Right.
You wouldn't get that back,
Like,
which is what stops.
See you later.
That stops growth. You know, when you try to have a conversation with somebody, hey, you said this thing, and that hurt my feelings, or I don't think you understand how you saying this is really indicative of a viewpoint that's not really correct. And instead of being like, well, I don't think. You can't believe that about me. I'm not racist. It was none of that.
Okay,
it was like,
now
no,
I'll never bring this
I
up to you ever again
Right.
because you're not going to be receptive.
And I'll never speak
I
to
said,
you
why?
again.
Can you tell me more about that?
Right.
I remember like those moments happening between people.
And then you would, and it would be like, oh, well, I didn't know that.
Right.
I never thought about it.
Just
that way.
educated me. Cool.
And then it was, okay, do you want a shot? Yes, yes, I do.
Let's go.
Because all of these things happen over drinks.
You want to order some French fries? Absolutely.
And exercising, we had fitness Fridays.
That's
Before
I have some
before beach
rapid
body.
fire things to
my
add to
gosh.
see what memory it pops up for you. So
Oh my
Fitness
God.
Fridays.
Oh, it's
would be
rapid
one.
fire time.
I don't know if I have enough wine for that.
I'm
Why am I the only one who's empty?
We can refill.
Is this indicative of a larger problem?
All right, so rapid fire. I think so. Some of these things I think will conjure up some good memories, or at least some entertaining memories, and then maybe this will I remember this, and then you can ask me or whatever. So, since you said Fitness Fridays, I want to talk about Fitness Fridays. So at one point we were very I don't even think it was a new year, but it was we're gonna get in shape and we're gonna put together a spreadsheet, and we had a point system.
Spreadsheet and
I know.
points.
I
This
know
is
what,
beach body before beach
I know what
body.
made that up.
So,
So, just thoughts.
whatever thoughts.
Okay, so we were planning to go to Nashville for around the country for our nonprofit get together, and we called it Nash Vegas.
Nash Vegas.
And we said we have to look good for this event. So we in Excel, the way we held each other accountable. It wasn't even like a shareable document or whatever.
That didn't exist. No.
Yeah, you just went into Excel, and next to your name and the date you put what exercise you did. And so you'd come in the next day and put it in, and then you'd just be shamed by our one friend Jen, who would do so much stuff, and you're I can't have a blank box, and I want to do it half at least what she's doing. And so that was good. That was my first regular exercise.
Good motivation.
And we worked out in the office sometimes.
Oh yeah,
too.
in the basement, in
Yeah.
this gross basement, we wheeled in the VHS player
Yes.
and
Oh
put in
my
the
God.
Zumba video that I got by sending Special K UPCs away. This is a thing. Our kids will never experience this.
No.
Nope.
Somebody's going to say, what's a VHS?
Just like Columbia Records for a
I know.
penny, you would get all
You
those
get
tapes.
signed up for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
God.
Fitness Fridays, I remember wheeling in the thing and putting in and sending an email. Whoever wants to join us, and they're like, "Crazy, you're crazy."
It would just be
no,
all
I don't
women.
want to work out with you in
Yeah.
the basement.
Yeah.
No.
I remember doing yoga with you one time, and this is before I even knew that you lived in. There's an apartment attached to the office that we worked at.
Yes, which I lived in for 3 months.
So a lot of
I
people
lived there
lived
Oh,
in
wow.
there for a while.
6 months. When you first move.
Oh,
there,
because you guys
it's-
relocated. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of you get to work right away, and
That's
you don't know
cool.
the area, so you can live there while you work and get to know where you want to move.
That's really cool. I like that.
Yeah,
Did we
and
do yoga in the apartment?
I don't know, but you were like, you want to do yoga? And I'm like, I don't have any clothes. I'm like, I have clothes. And
I can't believe I asked if somebody wanted to do yoga.
Yeah.
That might have
Who
been
am I?
one of 3 times I've ever done it. I was trying to impress her. I was trying to win her over, make her my friend.
my notes went away. All right, so that was Fitness Fridays. A Phillies championship, World
Oh my
Series.
God, that was the best.
I am not a Phillies fan, and it was the most amazing experience.
I am a Yankees fan,
I'm a
die
Mets
hard,
fan.
and I was so excited when the Phillies won.
So,
I think we went to the game that they won the division, maybe.
I don't remember that.
I remember being at the game, and it was all of a sudden it was a big deal. Like
Oh
we
my
had
gosh,
a whole bunch
wait
of
a minute.
tickets.
and we were, and then we went to the bar connected to the stadium afterwards, and the bartenders asked us to stay. They said, "Ladies, I'm sorry, but I can't let you go outside. It's not safe. please stay here. So we ended up just staying and staying and staying until the point where he was like, I'll walk you to your cars.
Oh.
Like, or maybe it was McFadden's. Maybe we went.
I think it was McFadden's.
So, but we were not allowed, like, could have left, but they're like, it's just not
They were
wise.
concerned for
Let's
your
take
safety.
Yeah. So we're like, well, you are gonna
Tony's
make me
like,
stay
I don't
out.
remember none of that.
I'm like, no, you could have.
Was I there?
You could have been there and just don't remember.
I mean, it's very likely.
It's possible.
I feel like Sarah was there.
I mean, some of it is sounding kind of familiar.
But
Bits
then-
and pieces.
Because we love to go to that bar connected to the stadium because the guys are cute there.
Yeah.
We
Baseball
I don't
fans.
know if
All
we
the
ever,
sports loving guys.
like picked up any guys there, but the guys there were cute.
I'm just here so you can look at me.
And they had live music outside. But the actual World Series win,
Oh, we were in Jen's apartment.
yes, which was on Main Street in Manayunk.
Yes.
So the whole street was filled up.
It's crazy.
And we said, yeah, let's go down the middle of that. And we did. And we
We still
did.
have those pictures
Yes.
of people. Somebody had a Rocky cutout that they had put a Phillies jersey
Oh
on.
my god, that day was. I
they
remember
was-
that day. That day was crazy.
Like we were actually in the group on the street,
Yes.
seeing people try to climb up the light post.
Yes,
Oh
my
yes, and like people standing on cars, and like people trying to like drive down the street out their windows screaming. It was
The city was like on fire.
oh, it was amazing. And then
And that wasn't even the parade.
no,
I
Nope.
was
Yeah.
saying, are you
Because then
kidding
we
about
went to the
okay,
parade.
I feel like I've said that was the best time like 6 times.
We were in the newspaper. Like it's hard because I'm not a Phillies fan, but it's like Phillies crowd loud and proud, and I'm in the
But how
middle.
can you
like,
not be excited? Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god,
It's
hi.
contagious.
We used to have an office right downtown, and so I remember this so clearly. This I remember. So we,
She was here for this.
because you know it was the parade, and so everybody was like, "Okay, we got to get downtown really early."
They closed
'cause-
work.
Yeah, so
we
they
went as a
closed
work event
work.
to
Oh,
the parade.
wow.
and you know we had parking because our office was right downtown.
But like
Oh, that's
right at the
perfect.
beginning of like
Yeah.
you could either get 76, 676, whatever. It was
Right.
like the perfect location.
Right, and we all parked our cars in the parking lot. Should we even say this next part? Because you know what I'm going to talk
We
about.
didn't. I mean, we didn't.
I guess it's been 10 years.
We didn't do
You guys are
anything
good.
bad.
15 years.
What's the
we
statute
still
of
haven't-
limitation of
we
whatever
still
you
haven't
did?
said where we worked.
So we got out bar tables, and we did like flip cup and beer pong in the parking lot.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we used to do that at my. Yeah, we used to
we
do
weren't
that.
working.
We weren't working. The office was closed. We were literally in the parking lot of our work
Good old tailgate.
in Phillies gear with like 6 packs and cases of beer. And then we walked down to the parade and lost our minds for a little bit and saw them drive by in the car and went back to the
Yes.
And then everybody took like Ubers home because I mean you could just leave your
Right.
car in the parking lot overnight. And it was the funnest day.
It was amazing.
It was so much fun.
Oh.
It was just, and it was like all of us because we were all around the same age. All of us were close.
Well, the whole
there was like
office
10 of us.
was invited to the like a board member was in a key leadership with the Phillies, so that was the staff email in honor of best board member. We are going to close the office, and we will all meet at this time to go to the parade together. What?
And then we were like at
Ashley
19th and Market. Yeah, I had to write her a note to like skip
To
school.
write her a note.
Mama
Please
Jazz.
excuse.
Yeah,
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was so awesome.
Oh.
I have pictures of that. Maybe we can.
Yeah,
put
send
up
them to me.
A really
Yes.
good like group shot of us all in Philly
I have
gear.
a picture of that Rocky cutout.
I'll see if I can find the article.
And like, send them my way.
I remember all of you being in the like it was like cutouts of everyone.
It was-
like
it-
at the front page of the
It was a
newspaper.
crowd, and then like one of those eye wizard things. When you look at it, a picture pops out. When you look at it, different staff members pop out. Like, and there was not people around you that you knew,
Right.
but there were a few people over.
That's cool. What's the next rapid
Notes.
fire?
Wow, those two are great.
So since Toddy mentioned it earlier, Nash Vegas. Yeah.
Oh,
So there was a
pictures of that
conference
too.
that we went to every 8 years or something.
It's
Some kind
supposed
of like
to be once a decade, and now they don't do it
Something.
anymore.
Yeah, we got in on the last one.
Oh, wow.
We went to the very last one that will probably ever happen.
Aw.
so it was Nashville, Tennessee.
I would agree.
But we called it Nash Vegas, and it was like everyone that was doing our same job from around the country came to this. So people that you met at trainings and people that you saw at like different events or whatever, yeah, we all got together, and it was a really. Most of us were staying at the same hotel, which was like what the largest.
The Grand Ole Opry.
The
Gaylord
Opryland.
Opryland, yeah, Gaylord
Well,
Opryland.
we went to concerts during dinner. There was concerts, country music concerts.
Inside the hotel. It was incredible.
I can't believe we
wow.
lived that.
But, I mean, the people that we met though, so like our staff was so diverse with like women and minorities that we would walk around and we would meet other staffs and we wouldn't meet like whole staffs of people, no women.
Wow.
We met. I so vividly remember.
we were
meeting
very,
this
very sociable
one
too.
Yeah.
guy who I think he was from like Mississippi, and he was the first minority that had been hired at his office as a full-time professional. And this was in 2000 and I don't know what, 6? No,
it was
8? 2008.
Wow.
Ever.
Trying to think of the year.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not ever.
That's
Which is
crazy.
yeah, it's insane.
2008.
Yeah. The first full-time professional who is a minority in 2008.
It's crazy. But also, I will say that other teams wanted to hang out with us.
Yes.
Like they were looking
Obviously,
for
the
us.
cool
They'd be like, could you guys come to this party? Like, it'd be weird to have all these numbers of sweets on your hands and be like, hey guys, so I'll meet you later at this one. Like,
Right.
We got separated.
Y'all were the
we
group to be
rejoined,
with.
we were like, yeah. It was,
Y'all were the
it was
group to
intense.
be with.
When we would like reunite, it'd be like, oh my god, I can't believe it just happened.
I know. It was like story time.
There was a nightclub we went to.
Yes.
There were like, I'm not gonna call them strippers because they weren't, but there were dancers.
I don't think I was there.
Maybe you don't remember.
You don't remember.
I remember that nightclub. I remember that guy spilled his whole drink on me, and then like was just like, "Oh, sorry." I was like, "You're not even gonna buy me a drink."
Sorry.
Like, and if you do that to one of us, like just imagine this crowd of us,
Right.
Like, and this closeness. So there was the Estrogen Mafia and beyond.
Right.
The other women and the other men who we were so close with. So you don't do one thing to one of
Right.
us.
Yeah.
You're doing it
So
to all
whole
of
did
us.
it to all of
everybody. Now you gotta buy bottles for everyone.
Yep. Do you remember Great Wolf Lodge?
Yes. I remember being very loud in the hallways, and it's a kid's place.
Yeah.
Like, we were,
So I think they had it. They had recently opened.
yes, they were trying to get everyone there, so they booked this adult retreat there.
We were swimming at
But there
night
was
or
kids
something.
freaking. Yeah, there's
But I
a
was
kids
like, yeah, I'm
thing.
like Great Wolf Lodge.
Like,
It's like a family
take this
friend.
wand on this
Not when we
treasure
went.
No, and it was the middle of winter, so they were trying to fill it up too.
Right, right.
Yeah.
But it was also like a Jewish holiday or something because
So
there were a
everyone
lot
was
of
up from school.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, no, there was a lot of Jewish people there, and so it would be like us and going down the like water slide,
All loud and drunk.
like, Orthodox Jewish people in like full like dress, and just like okay,
Couldn't
how
just
could these
look a
two
little
things be
skimpy.
more opposite?
Right.
Oh, don't
How
get me
did we
started
all
on-
end up here?
Then there's the whole work retreat bathing suit situation.
Oh.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh, do tell.
oh, you just don't want to
Cover up.
You
One
want
piece.
to do a one piece. Just
Yeah.
that should be
Or
the
tankini.
unwritten
Yeah.
handbook that we make. Like that should just be in there.
And
Yeah.
it's more like if there's alcohol involved, just do a one piece. Just
Right.
because that guy from accounting might be
Right.
fine. There were no guys in our accounting department by accident, but he might be fine. But they're like 3 Miller Lights in,
Right.
all of a sudden he can't keep his eyes up, and
It's just not. Let's just not create
Feeling
that
a little
situation for
frisky.
ourselves.
Right.
Any woman
And
out
then the
there.
prisoners start to look good.
Right.
Yeah,
So you don't
and
want
it's a
that
whole
situation.
it's a whole thing, and you could get into all the why you shouldn't have to feel that way, and it's them, and
No.
we're like,
The
listen,
reality is half naked, putting in alcohol. It's not gonna end. It's not gonna end the way you want it to end. So you just
if
It's not going to end the way it started.
right,
And you can
So-
do something about it before you get there. So just
So
think that through.
no, you don't need to wear like a white T-shirt or anything crazy like
Right.
that, but just keep it to a one piece and keep it moving.
See, I know if I went, I feel like if I went into a situation, because I like my high waisted bikinis or tankinis or whatever. But for me to protect myself, I would purposely go in a one piece, even if I was or wasn't attracted to somebody, because there's gonna be alcohol there, and I'm too lazy to take the whole one piece down if something were to occur. So to keep myself safe, I'm putting the one piece on, because once it comes down, I'm getting in the bed. I'm going to sleep.
Yes.
I'm not putting that shit back
Keeping
on.
yourself in
Just
check.
get you a little gold padlock and just put it on the back of the one piece. Like
Don't
if you're a
touch
two piece,
me.
it just be like, there you go, lock it up.
Right.
And who
Don't
wants
get
to
over-
put
come
a
over
wet
here.
bathing suit back on?
Right.
Like, it's damn near impossible.
Exactly.
But there was, what was that place? It wasn't Great Wolf. It was the place where you could ski.
Bear.
Sky Top.
Bear.
Scared. There was
There was Great
There was
Wolf
Sky Top
Lodge,
Lodge.
Skytop.
and there was Bear Creek.
Bear Creek. I think it
Yes.
was just me and you at Skytop.
I think so.
And then
We did Bear
everyone
Creek a
else
couple of
started.
times.
And we
I
did
think
Bear
there were
Creek
two-
with skiing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then that place had a hot tub.
Oh.
Yeah, I did get in that hot tub, but I think at that point, whoever I got in the hot tub with, I was not concerned about.
Right.
We just were in the hot
It's
tub.
like, hey there.
Yeah. I don't need a lock on my bathing suit. Forget it.
That
Sorry.
was a message for me to me.
Alright, another one. I guess I could say there's three. It's an acronym, PDL.
Yeah,
Right, I could say that.
they don't
PDL
even
can
use
mean a
that
lot of
acronym
things.
anymore.
No?
So no, it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I mean, it exists, but it's not called that anymore.
So this was a training every year that you would go to, and then, so there were numbers attached to it depending on which one you went to. And again, you were meeting people from different parts of the country, and I think we all went to different
Yeah.
ones at different times. So we weren't all going to the same one at the same time, having the same experiences, but we all had stories from our trainings.
Well, it was,
yeah.
training.
It was 2 weeks long.
The first one was 2 weeks long.
I'm like, ugh.
Yeah. Oh, and it used to
And that
be,
was lower. It used to be
Yeah,
a month.
away from your family.
But what are you learning in this training?
Well,
It reminded me when you
Nothing.
talked about that, like the introduction. Like
Oh
you-
yeah,
you
like
said
you're
if
sitting in
going-
orientation for a week. I don't know why I'm here.
That's what it was like.
For a
only
month.
a month. Only we had the abbreviated version, thankfully, of 2 weeks in Texas
now it's a week.
and online.
I know that.
You do it online,
What
like
they used to,
weekly, and
well,
then you
it
go
took a
in person.
month, now it takes a week
Yeah.
virtually.
It used to be a month. Oh, so my when I first started, my supervisor told me it was a month and you had to pay for it yourself.
What the hell? You want me to get trained and I gotta pay for it? I don't
Yeah.
understand.
Welcome to not for profit.
Yeah, and then
There you go.
and then it went down. She said when she took it, it was 3 weeks, and marriages were ruined.
Yeah.
Marriages were ruined.
Marriages
And then
were
we went,
ruined.
it
On the
was-
trip that I had to pay for so y'all could train me.
Yes.
Now I'm divorced.
Now,
Yes.
who's gonna pay for my divorce lawyer?
Now it's then it was 2
It's the
weeks.
honest lawsuit.
And do you remember who do we send the care package to? Was that who it was?
With the
The
that they,
one that-
it
with
was
the sugar
pulled over to
packets?
the side. Yeah.
So we
Oh my
sent,
goodness.
so whenever a staff member would go, we would send them a care package. And one time it was real stupid stuff. We literally just took all the stuff on their desk, put it in a box.
And included
Wasn't
sugar
there
packets.
a sugar packet in the packet open? It was during the anthrax scare.
Oh,
so
shit.
our package was like investigated.
Like the mail truck was pulled off to the side, and there were like FBI agents or something.
Like
it wasn't
some-
just police.
Something like
Shit.
this happened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Was that the last care package, or y'all could
that might have been the last.
It might have been, according to our staff leaders, the last one we were allowed
Right.
to send.
Don't do that.
But
Stop
yeah,
it.
we literally just sent them junk. We sent them I think we sent them a couple of nice things, like some candies or something like that. And then we sent them like their stapler and
In case you missed this.
Post-it notes. And then we went into the coffee nook and just threw sugar packets and creamer. And
I don't suggest you do that.
Don't do
No,
that.
don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
So
But it was funny.
there's a lot of memories I have from that time, but I think Joss's experience at PDL just topped everybody else's. All of her memories that she made. Like, I think of PDL and I'm like, oh, Joss had an interesting
I
time.
had a really good PD. I had a really good class because it was actually 3 of us from our team, and that rarely ever happened. And then we had a really good time.
You had really good friends you met.
I made really good friends
Really good.
She made really good friends.
that I met up with later in Nash Vegas.
There you go. See,
So
friendship continued.
That's also what I thought of when the word Nash Vegas came from your mouth.
I feel like I heard that from someone else though.
What?
Nash
No,
Vegas.
I mean, that's the
Oh, that's what you
memory
thought.
that popped into my head.
My memory.
Just because you're looking at me saying it, and I'm like, oh, I know.
Oh, I
popping
know.
up?
It was a lot of fun.
We all had a lot of fun.
Yeah. The Jersey Shore party. I think I mentioned that at one point.
Oh yeah.
Like there was a Jersey Shore
You
themed
did,
party.
you talked about that.
Yes.
Was that Nash Vegas?
Was that in Las Vegas?
Yes.
What was that?
Oh, yes. So we arrived and we set up the Jersey Shore party, but then the suite was supposed to be used for something else, and we didn't know it. And they kind of kicked us out, and we were
Somewhat kicked out.
and we were kind of all in a huff and offended, and until we moved on to the next thing.
It's like, whatever.
Until we went to that suite in I forget what city it was that bought the suite that had like it was the suite. I mean, the suite had like a pool room, like with a big giant pool table. It had like 7 or 8 rooms in it, and the whole place was just packed. Oh, it was so much fun. It was so much fun. There was a guy who drank too much and fell asleep in the boat that went on the lazy river. Because it was so big, it had a lazy river that you could get in like a little boat and
wasn't
ride
us.
around.
Go.
It
It wasn't anybody we knew, but it became the story because he got so drunk he got in that
It
boat,
just kept
passed out,
going.
and just kept going around.
Riding around.
I think they
And
sent
so one
him
time, somebody who knew him saw him and got him out of that boat. They sent him home, and he no longer had a job.
Oh well,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the end of that.
That's crazy.
They took it overboard.
That's what they would warn us. They would say, "Listen, we're going to have fun, but please come back with a job.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't get unemployed while you're
Yeah.
having fun.
Don't do it."
Oh my god. You have any more rapid fire?
I don't have any
No?
more rapid fire.
It was a good episode.
Yeah.
I enjoyed talking to you, lady.
We had a lot of fun with you too.
Yes.
I'm
Thank you.
glad. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
having us.
You're welcome. Well, that's a wrap on this episode.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.